People are saying JK has been physically attacked at the camp by other soldiers and what's going on with that. We also have people calling BTS losers, as well as BTS giving an update and speaking out on what's going on lately. So hey dumplings, it's Dave Disci. Let's get into it. We of course have to start off this video by talking about some of the really very exciting things that have been happening, or some things that have been announced. It was announced a little while ago that BTS was going to be releasing their Run BTS Poly. Now don't quote me on this, but I believe at the time this was announced, they had not specifically specified what this was. So a lot of people were wondering if this was some sort of mixtape. Maybe the boys had recorded a bunch of covers or some songs that they recorded that didn't make it to their last album, or it could have potentially been some unreleased music from each of the solo members. However, none of this ended up being true, and what was released was also still very exciting. Definitely not as exciting as music, but I think that that's just something that we definitely want from them, but still pretty exciting stuff that is coming out. And because it's new things. It was supposed to be a photo book, which of course is kind of like new content because we get to potentially see some new photos of the boys, and then a board game apparently, which I don't really think the boys have ever really put out. So the pre-orders have gone up on the 8th of April, which just passed, and then the actual shipping date or the release date is going to be the 24th. So if you want to get it, definitely place your order and pick up some things. I actually recently just got the BTS Uno card, and they've been so much fun to play with. So if you're interested in getting this, I'll link it down below. It's definitely good to stock up on a lot more BTS content right before the BTS comeback happens. But going back to the Run BTS Poly merch thing, it includes a lot of different things as well. So it's not just a board game, and then it's not just photo books, but apparently they have a QR code for the photo book. I'm assuming there's also a physical version, but maybe the QR code is just so that people can access it right away. There's also stickers, as well as tokens, dice, player markers, and just a bunch of cute things that are inspired by BTS. Now, I'm not sponsored to talk about this or promote this at all, but I do think it's cool to talk about some of the new releases in case people want to grab them. And since the boys have been out of the spotlight for a little while, some people might not be aware of some of the new releases. And of course, I also want to disclose the fact that most people who are interested in buying some of these products tend to withhold from buying them because they feel like if it was not created by the members themselves, or if the members themselves didn't have a part in it, it wouldn't be as great of a purchase. And of course, if this product was created back before they enlisted, then likely the members would have some input in it. But if it was created during the enlistment, then likely the boys did not have much creative input in it. However, what's really cool about their company and the fact that they have this huge team that essentially can run things while they're not around is simply just that they can create the products for the BTS members and the money still goes to them. So if you're looking to support the members in any way, purchasing things like this directly from the label will definitely help them. And of course, the boys do very well on their own. They definitely don't need our help in any way, but seeing the interaction and seeing the monetary interaction that we can give often sends a message to the boys and to the label that they're still being highly anticipated. However, other ways people can tell that the boys are highly anticipated is just the conversation that happens, and the boys get brought into the conversation all the time, and conversations that they definitely do not sign up for, which I think is very interesting. I thought something that happened recently was both infuriating and funny at the same time. And BTS got brought into the conversation even though BTS was never mentioned. This basically happened when a Twitter account, I believe a popular one, perhaps a news site or some sort of fan page that reports on these things, talked about how Ariana Grande started following Lisa from Blackpink. Now, there's numerous reasons as to why Ariana Grande would do this. One of them, of course, is the fact that she could be binge watching White Lotus right now and just wanted to follow Lisa. Also the fact that Lisa has performed at the Oscars and Ariana Grande was there, so they met and saw each other. Ariana maybe was also a little bit late in following Lisa and decided to do it now as opposed to back then. However, the comments had a little bit of a different reaction. Lisa is also currently rumored to be dating Frederick, who happened to be, I think, the son of LVMH. So he's definitely coming from a lot of money. So a lot of people were saying that the alleged boyfriend probably pulled strings to get Ariana to follow Lisa. This is not something that is completely unheard of in the industry, like a celebrity being paid or bribed or whatever to follow someone, and then that someone can get a lot of attention, because if a big celebrity like Ariana were to follow someone, it would make headlines. However, I really don't think that that is what's happening, because Lisa is doing a lot of stuff recently. Ariana Grande keeps up with current events, and she tends to follow the trends. And then for some reason, BTS was brought into the conversation, just like they always do, because Ariana Grande had followed Lisa and not one of the BTS members. And so some people were mocking the members by saying that they're not as great or that they're losers or whatever because they don't get a follow from Miss Ariana Grande like Lisa does. Of course, I don't have to explain how ridiculous this is. A follow from any particular person doesn't mean anything, but also I hate that this is the thought process that goes into it, like, oh, a K-pop star is better than this other K-pop star because this K-pop star has Western approval or has a huge Western star approval. No artist should be living for the approval of other artists. Everyone is doing their own thing, and the bottom line is Ariana Grande has shown a significant amount of love to the boys by taking pictures with JK, but also showing up at BTS's rehearsal and watching their performance. It's clear that Ariana Grande and the BTS members were friends at one point, probably still are friends, and it was likely done by her efforts rather than BTS actively seeking her out. And neither BTS nor Ariana Grande have ever used each other for clout. It's not like they have been in each other's songs or anything like that. So it seems like Ariana Grande has approved of BTS too. So this is a ridiculous argument. I think it's just fandoms coming together to want to have an argument. There's definitely plenty of things to argue about, and I rarely ever see the internet or the community coming together to argue about something that actually is a problem. One of the things that I've been seeing a lot of is the rise in AI commentary or news. It appears as if AI is creating its own stories and really trying to make the story as detailed and believable as possible. And they will typically ride on the coattails of whatever is trending and whatever is a good story right now. So whatever they know that the community is talking about and is upset about, they will take that story, make it up, and try to make it seem as realistic as possible. And they have access to that because they can just scour the internet. And the way they do this is that they just know how stories in general go. They know what the community will do when a story happens. They also can add all of those details into their fake news story to make it seem more real. For example, there was a story going around saying that JK was severely bullied and attacked in the military. The video talks about JK sitting in a room or a cafeteria or whatever, and he was sitting by himself when a bunch of senior people came up to him and started yelling and then putting their hands on JK. That person then began to start really attacking JK to the point where JK seemed to have been hurt. This was leaked allegedly by CCTV footage, and the footage ended up going viral online, to which the community started to trend things like protect JK or JK deserves better and that sort of stuff. Now, at first glance, this definitely sounds like a very believable story. Nothing in here seems unusual, because if the community and people are worried about the bullying that can happen to JK as they see him like a baby, and if that is something that the community is going to be talking about at the time, then this story coming out sort of wraps everything up in a nice bubble. People can watch it and then understand what's going on and say, oh, this must be what's happening. Okay, I'm finally informed, and then move on. This must be why the community is upset, like they could be thinking that. But as I said, typically the real rumor and the place that the rumor comes from is unrelated to this, and it would be coming from a different source. Maybe someone just said that they were concerned, that they were scared for JK to be bullied, and then that ended up being trended online. But then these AI news stories come in and then make up their own story. And of course, you can ask how I know this is a made-up story or how I'm confident in that. The reason being is because these clips do not exist online. You simply cannot find it. And you can have the softwares like the AI chatbot or simply just Google search, look up this specific CCTV footage, and you'll see that it simply does not exist. And the AI story said this became national news. So this would definitely be something that would pop right up. However, it doesn't because it doesn't exist. But it's interesting because the AI news even goes as far as to say the community was trending specific hashtags to show support. However, if you go to the hashtag, there is nothing like this at all. This is, of course, very interesting to me and makes me a little bit upset to hear that there's no one talking about this really or addressing this. There's just a lot of people who simply hear the story and then believe it because it gives them closure and it tells them what's going on in the community, and then they feel like they don't have to do more research, but it quite literally is not what's going on. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.